Welcome to another Firefly beading tutorial. Today we're going to be learning how to make these super fun and easy wire wrapped rings using our semi-precious stones or any round beads you have laying around. We are using the 8mm today. What you're going to need is a 20 gauge wire spool. This is craft wire, so it's super easy. A ruler and a ring stick with a groove in it if possible, which we sell here at Firefly. You're also going to need some flush cutters, if you have them, or any cutter, and chain nose pliers with no teeth. And the first thing you're going to do is measure out about 12 to 18 inches of wire. Depending on how many times you want to wrap it, you could cut more, but this is more than enough for what we're going to be doing today. So you just straighten out your wire a little bit. Again, this is the craft wire, it's super easy. You could also be using dead soft gold, filled, or sterling. First, you're going to slip on your bead down to the middle of the wire. You're just going to kind of find the middle. You don't want to bend your wire too hard, just very gently to get to the middle. And kind of straighten everything out. Then you're going to grab your ring stick and you're going to place your stone into the groove, if you have one. Now this is about the sizing. On average, for what we sell at the store at least, a size 6 ring is about the average. So because of this groove on the back, we are wanting to put this down about a size bigger, so about 7.5 inches. About a size or a size and a half bigger than what you want the final ring to look like. So what we're going to do first is continue wrapping the wire in the direction that it wants to go. You don't need to force anything, just kind of go with it and straighten it all out, keeping it on that 7.5 mark or whatever mark you need it on. Then turn around to the front and continue wrapping the wire as it wants to go. So one goes to the top and one goes to the bottom, and straighten everything out. Again, check to make sure you're still on that mark. You just want to run your fingers down the wire to continue to keep everything kind of straight and tight. Once everything is kind of where you need it to be, you're going to grab your chain nose pliers and grab just to the right and twist it up very gently so your wire goes out at a diagonal, and then take the bottom wire and again twist it down so the bottom wire is at an angle. So you want one wire going down and one wire going up with the notches as close to the bead as possible. Once you've done that, you're going to start gently folding your wire around. Be sure to keep the tension on your wire as you pull your wire around. It's important that you keep pinching the wire like where my left thumb is right now to keep your ring from moving around. And you just kind of slowly coil, keeping each wire on top of the next. You can do this once, you can do it twice like we're doing here, or you could do it several times. It's up to you. Once you've got your coils how you want it, you're going to stop about halfway on each side. So it's kind of like 1.5 turns. And when you've got the coils you need, you're then going to slip off your ring. And this is when I like to keep the tails a little bit shorter because I only wrap a couple times around, so I like having at least a 2-inch tail or so on the end. So I'm going to snip this off right here. I'm guessing it's about 2 inches. Let's measure it just to make sure. Yeah, so about 2.5 inches. It just makes it easier to work with when you're coiling it around to do this next part. So this next part, you're going to take this tail right here that's going up and you're going to curl it behind like this. So you take it and you gently start folding it down and in between. So you're not going around the whole ring, just this top part right here. Sometimes you can use your chain nose pliers to help you adjust as needed. You don't want to pull too hard. Working with wire, the smaller the movements, the better. The slower, you don't want to force anything. You kind of just work with it all. And You kind of pull it tight on that first one and keep that tension going around. Notice I'm pinching with my left thumb on that wire again at the bottom of the stone. Your wire might move a little bit, so keep your eye on everything and make sure things are staying where they need to stay. And just remember to keep that tension strong on this tail as you pull. And I like to do about 3 coils. After I've done my 3rd coil, I'm going to go to the other side now and do the same thing again. Gonna fold it back and through. Use those pliers if you want, just to get it started. Get that tension strong there and keep your coils tight. So that's 1, 2, again tight, and the last one is going to be 3. And bring it through. Notice I'm not pulling too hard with the wire or the pliers, just trying to get things started. After I've got my 3, I kind of pinch things down a little bit, not too hard, very gentle again, you don't want to smash it. And then you're going to take your flesh cutters and you're going to angle them in so that you could cut the tail off as close to everything as possible. You don't want a sticky little barb out to rub on a finger. So you clip it and then gently smash down that little end with your chain nose pliers. And you can kind of feel it with your fingers, make sure it's smooth. And then again, I'm going to curl this one under a little bit because I didn't finish this one off completely how I would like. It's kind of preference where you want to cut your tail, but I started pulling it out of the way a little bit, and then I'll come in and snip off as close as possible again. And then use my pliers to kind of squish in that little end. So far so good. And now what we're going to do to make sure it's round like we'd like, we're going to pull the ring down again with the stone in the little groove and kind of push your wire into place where you'd like, and then put some tension by pulling it down. So again, this is between a 7 and an 8, which means it'll be really a size 6 to 6.5 ring. And I just flip it over and do the same thing, just to make sure everything is pretty even. And really, once everything looks great, then you are done with this ring. It takes only about 8 minutes once you get pretty good at this. My fingers are big, but this will fit on my little pinky here. These are so fun and so easy, and again, you can make them however you'd like with more wraps or a thicker band, but this is essentially what you need to do to get started. Hope you enjoyed this video. Happy beading from us at Firefly.